Hey, welcome back. It's day 2. So I'm excited to keep you moving along through this challenge and to help you learn these actions that are really important, basic movements that we need to be learning in our body. So we're gonna keep coming back to the actions that we learned in day 1, and through repetition, these actions start to ingrain themselves in the body. All right, so we'll work on that. Also, I want to let you know that each of these videos will be no longer than 30 minutes. You don't have to worry. Most are going to be 20 to 25 minutes. So people then a little freaked out. How long is the challenge going to be each day? How will I have enough time? So not to worry. Okay, so we didn't use any blocker strap yesterday, but make sure to have those handy. You might need them today. All right, let's get right to it. Throughout the challenge, I'll be introducing some of my friends, fellow teachers that will be demonstrating on some days, and then on some days I'll be practicing with you. But it's helpful to be able to see me give the correction on someone else's body, and then to be able to try to integrate that in your body as well. Okay, so today I'm joined by my friend and teacher, Shireen. She's here in child's pose. Hi, Shireen. So you're gonna start off in child's pose today. So with your head down, stretch your arms all the way forward, and then we're going to try to get that same action. So what we worked on yesterday was releasing the hips out of the back. So let the hips from the back and from the front release back, like someone had a rope across you and they're pulling you back. Then at the same time, through the sides of your ribs, elongate, reach forward. And also let the sides of the neck from the sides of the head start to lengthen. So in child's pose, we'll treat it just like we did at the beginning yesterday on our back, just breathe. But when you're in this position, you'll feel that the breath is a little more encouraged into the back body. And that's good because it gets really sticky and tight here across your back bottom ribs. Just breathe into that. All right, then come up onto your hands and your knees. Hands go right underneath the wrist, knees go underneath the hips. And now we're going to practice that same stability and core work that we did yesterday. So as you inhale, send your right arm forward. And practice when your arm goes forward, just like we did on the back yesterday, draw the inner arm into the socket as you stretch the muscles long. So it's like the bones trying to reach back as the muscles reach forward. Then start to slide your left foot back along the floor without the hips twisting at all. And now lift that leg just an inch, but move your buttock, engage your hamstring, engage your buttock, and move your buttock down towards your heel. Feel your belly lift up to your chest. Then lower your hand and your knee down. Change sides. Send just the left arm forward. Stretch your right leg back. Good, hold there. That inner arm plugs in. The bicep spins up like it would for down dog. Now lift that leg just an inch and firm the buttock in the back of the leg. Now when you engage your core, the spine shouldn't change position unless it's drooping. So stretch the spine even longer, lift your belly without rounding at all. That's good. Lower your hand and your knee. Nice job. Inhale, change sides. Stretch your right arm, left leg. And see if you can go right to that lifted leg position. Feel the glute, back of the leg turn on. And lower yourself down. Inhale, change sides. Exhale, lower down. Okay, good. Then one leg at a time, step into plank pose. Press down even through your middle 3 knuckles. Feel that rotation of your inner upper arms and feel the collarbone spread, tops of the blades spread. Get as wide as you can across your top blades, collarbones. Root down into the space between your big toe mound and second toe mound. And as you lift up through the ankles, lift the inner thighs. And keep pushing down with your arms. Activate your arm muscles. Make sure your elbows haven't locked in. Good. Now, without the hips twisting at all, raise your right leg up just 1 inch. Don't let the hips twist. Stay steady. Change legs. Left leg up just 1 inch. Good. Then set that foot down and slowly stretch back to downward facing dog. So in down dog, you're trying to make like an inverted V shape. That was the way it was first explained to me. So the hips are trying to be the pinnacle of the pose. You're pulling them up and back. And as the hips pull up and back and away from your wrist, the arms rotate like we practiced. And then you can just let your head drop down towards the floor. Good. There's a lifted quality through your inner ankles. You're not letting the inner ankles collapse towards the floor like we learned yesterday. They shouldn't sink down. All right, now glide forward into plank as you inhale. Exhale, stretch back to downward facing dog. Nice and fluid with your breath. Inhale, forward into plank pose. Exhale, glide back to dog. Warming up the shoulders, arm muscles. One more time. Inhale, forward into plank pose. Exhale, back to down dog. Good. Now we're going to do a little quad opening for your back bend. So step your right foot all the way up by your right thumb and set your back knee down onto the floor. Bring your hands to your right knee and start to upright yourself. Okay, so as you hold in this position, think of like rooting down through your left shin, like you're trying to stretch and grow a root through your leg. Then lift up from the sides of your waist, grow your chest open, tall. Send your left arm forward. Then start to raise your left arm up. So an important principle of stretch that you should know is when you're stretching something, you're not just reaching in the direction of the hand or the upper body, but you're trying to stretch one way and then reach the other. Like what I mean by that, if I want to stretch my shirt out, I don't just, just pulling it this way isn't going to stretch it out. I have to grab it in one hand and then pull it with the other hand the other way, and then my shirt gets stretched out. Similar to your body, your fascia, as you stretch the left shin down, you're going to lift your belly and grow more space through your hip and through your rib like that. All right, then lower your hands back down, curl your back toes under, lift your back knee up, stretch that back leg as you reach your chest forward, and then same idea here. So grow through the back leg, grow your side ribs, the hips stretch back, and feel how you can actually make yourself longer that way. Use your breath. Then stretch back to downward facing dog. From down dog, step your left foot all the way up by your left thumb. Lower your back knee down to the floor. Then bring your hands to your left knee, start to upright yourself. As you actively reach from your hip down through your shin, draw your belly up, send your right arm forward, and then slowly start to upright your arm. Reach down through that right shin, pull your navel up. There was a very lengthy explanation on the last side, so we're just going to hold for a couple extra breaths. Okay, good. Then bring your hands back down, curl your back toes under, lift your back leg up. Breathe. And again, stretch back to down dog. All right, then come back to hand and knee position. Stretch your right leg back behind you. Then bend your knee and bring your heel towards your buttock. See if you can lift the leg just a little higher, and then reach back with your left hand towards your foot. You don't have to catch your foot, but just that feeling of trying to reach and open up your left side chest, shoulder. And then if you can try to stretch your leg a little, go ahead, but lift up from your belly. Then release, open back up, stretch the leg, stretch the arm. Good. Lower your hand and your knee down. Change sides, stretch just your left leg back. Hold there. Stretch your right arm forward. Bend the left knee, and then see if you can reach back with your right hand and take a hold of your foot. If it feels like it's too much, remember, at Ahimsa, we're practicing non-violence, taking care of the body. You can just hold the leg in that position and reach the arm. If you have your foot, try to stretch the leg up. Keep your belly lifted and take that back bend up through your spine. All the back bend you're feeling in your lower back, take it up into your middle back, upper back, and then release, stretch back out. Good. Then stretch back to downward facing dog. Inhale into plank pose. Shoulders come over the wrists. Lie all the way down onto your belly. Point your toes back. And now we're going to inhale into low cobra. So we're going to start to introduce a little bit of the Surya Namaskar movements. Start to roll your chest up and pause there. So yesterday we worked on training all of your back muscles to start to turn on when we were doing squatting positions. Today we're going to have to integrate those back muscles in this pose. So you're going to use these back muscles here to pull the shoulder blades down out of your back. Your collarbones spread. To do that, the muscles in your back draw the shoulder blades towards each other from the sides into the middle. Important what's going on with your legs. Press the pinky toe side of the foot down and spin the inner thighs up. Now roll yourself up just by using your spine strength, just halfway, just into low cobra. Hold there. Open up your hands evenly into the mat. Feel the chest broad. And now make your chest reach forward even longer as your hips stretch back. So that same basic gross movement that we learned yesterday. Breathe through your nose. Now see if you can roll yourself up another inch or two from the movement of your spine and the strength of your back. And then lower your chest back down and stretch back to down dog. Good. We're going to try one more of those. We're going to flow right into it. So as you inhale, glide into plank. Exhale, lower down onto your belly. Point your toes back. Inhale right into that last shape. Just as focused as you did it on the last round. Exhale, lower your chest back down. Press up on the hands and knees. Stretch back to downward facing dog. Great job. It was so good. In fact, let's do it one more time. Inhale into plank pose. Slowly lower down onto your belly. Point your toes back and inhale into low cobra. The pinky toe side of the foot turns down, the inner thighs spin up, lift from your belly up to your chest. Then lower the chest back down, come up onto hands and knees, and stretch back to down dog. Good job. All right. Walk your feet all the way up to the front of your mat and fold forward at the front of your mat. Just let your head drop now. Grab a hold of your elbows. And then just like we did yesterday, give the knees as much of a bend as you need to let the hamstrings release so that the spine can start to lengthen. Change the clasp of your elbows now. Just let the head drop. And then bring your hands onto your hips and come on up to stand for mountain pose. So in mountain pose, again, we want to open up the feet as big as we can. The fronts of the thighs point straight ahead, and then balance yourself tall up over your ankles. Balance your head up on top of your spine, hips over your ankles, shoulders over your hips, and ears up over your shoulders. Then maintaining that, take your arms forward, straight out in front of you. And as your arms go up, your thighs are going to want to move with them. Don't let them. Raise your arms up and keep your thighs balanced back over your ankles. Then rotate your arms, inner arms spin back. Lift the chest up towards the ceiling, straight up. Good, then bring your arms back down at your side. Tree pose, bring your right heel up onto your left inner thigh. Then open up to your left foot again. You're as even as you can be on your left foot. The whole sole of the foot opens, the heel roots. Then join your palms together. If anything's shifted in front of your left ankle, draw it back. Balance tall up over that ankle. Then raise your arms up overhead. Tree pose. As the arms go up, the thigh might want to come forward. Keep it balanced over the ankle and rotate your arms. Then bring your arms back down and the leg back down. Change sides. Bring your left heel up onto your right inner thigh. Join your palms together. Open up through your right foot. Then raise your arms up once you're steady. Let those inner arms spin back. Lift your sternum, your chest bone, up towards the ceiling. Bring your arms back down and lower your leg down. Okay, now we're going to turn for some standing poses. So separate your feet wide apart on your mat. And spread the arms out at your side. Good, so your feet, you want them to be as wide as you can be, but to where you're not sinking into your feet or your legs, you're still standing up tall. Then turn your left toes in a little bit and turn your right leg all the way out 90 degrees so that the right leg is doing mountain pose facing the side wall. Then bend your knee over your ankle for warrior two. As you bend your knee, stretch from your right inner leg towards your knee And keep breathing space from your side ribs up over your hips. Then bring forearm to thigh, extended side angle pose. Rest your forearm, elbow onto your right thigh, and reach your left arm all the way overhead. Ground down through your back heel. And keep turning that right thigh from inside out so that it's still pointing straight ahead. Make sure that the back heel is rooting and the back inner ankle is lifting. Inhale, come back up to warrior two. Good. Then straighten your right leg. We're gonna add one more pose on this side. So as you turn your right thigh out, reach out. And for this one, you might wanna have a block for triangle pose. Reach and put your hand down onto the outside of your shin, onto the block. Or you could just put your hand right on your shin if you don't have a block. Take your left arm up. Okay, so what Shireen's trying to do here is get just as much length from her right side waist as she has to her left, and she's got it, so that's good. Elongate through the right side ribs, like you're still trying to practice that basic action that we learned yesterday. Hips out of the lower back, side ribs reach forward. Then open up the roots, your feet, let them spread, and grow the legs longer as you open your chest. Press down through your feet. Inhale, come back up to stand. Turn your right toes in so your feet are parallel. Then turn your legs to the other side. The right foot angles in slightly. The left leg turns all the way out. Head up on top of the spine. Then start to bend the left knee slowly over your ankle. Warrior two. The back heel stays rooted. Reach through your back arm. And keep turning that left thigh from inside out so it points straight ahead. So a little shorter hold in this one because we're going to integrate two more poses. Bring your forearm to your thigh now, extended side angle. Reach your right arm all the way over. Reconnect into your back heel. Turn that thigh out because it'll want to sneak in as you take the arm overhead. We tend to forget about what's happening in the lower body. So we're learning to do something in the lower body while reaching the arm at the same time. So we're creating these new neurological pathways. Can I move my lower limbs this way while I move my upper limbs this way? It's good for your brain. It's challenging. Inhale, come back up, warrior two. Then straighten your left leg. But then look at your left thigh. Make sure that it's turned so that the center of your thigh is pointing straight ahead to the wall. Then start to reach out over your leg and put your hand down. Take your right arm up. Feel what's happening in your feet. Grow the feet more open into the mat. Breathe through your nose. Then reach through the sides of your chest away from your hips. And then the last action, turn your back ribs down towards your left hand so the chest starts to revolve. Reach down through your feet. Inhale, come back up to stand. Good, then turn your left toes in so your feet are parallel. Ardha Prasarita Padottanasana. Bring your hands to your hips. Then tip from your pelvis and start to fold forward halfway. Put your fingertips onto the floor. Make a flat back. So Ardha, that means half. Ardha Prasarita Padottanasana means half, legs wide apart pose. So in this half pose, we're working towards a flat back. And if you need to, you could put your hands up on blocks or a chair or whatever to get that flat back. Start to breathe the legs longer, open up through the feet, and lift the inner ankles up as you stretch down evenly. 3 more breaths here. Feel where you feel the sensation in the backs of the legs. And let the breath start to open up those areas that feel tight, locked up, tense. All right, then put a little bend in your knees. Bring your hands back to your hips, engage your core, and come all the way up to stand. Then turn your left foot out and step up to the front of your mat. mountain pose. Good. Stand tall and balanced over your ankles. Inhale, take your arms forward, up and overhead. As the arms go up, the body will want to lose its mountain pose quality, like thighs and hips might want to sink forward. Keep them tall over your ankles. Then exhale, fold forward. Hands to prayer, bow forward. Inhale, flat back. Ardha Uttanasana. Lengthen out. Hands can slide up to the shins like Shireen's doing to help create that flat back. Put your hands down and step back to plank pose, one leg at a time. Good. Hold in your plank. Then slowly lower all the way down onto your belly. Inhale into low cobra. Point the toes back. Roll the shoulders. Okay, now I don't know if you're gonna like this next part, but we're gonna do it. This is gonna be good for your core and good for your back muscles. From here, stretch your arms straight back behind you. And then lift the hands up off the mat. The thumbs turn out. The shoulder blades go from the sides onto the back, and then try to make yourself as long as you can. So like Shireen is very back bendy, but she's, instead of trying to like come up into her deepest back bend, she's just trying to reach forward. The chest lifts up. Okay, good. Now keep all that length that you've created. Feel the back muscles turn on. Raise your right leg just 1 inch. As that leg goes up, your lower back will want to shrink on that side, but keep growing it just as long as the left side and reach those right toes even longer. Change legs. Lift the left leg up just 1 inch. So today we're focusing more on the back body, starting to learn about the back body. Keep reaching your chest forward. Good. Set both feet down. Now let me see if you could lift both legs simultaneously, just 1 inch, without losing any length in your lower back. Keep lifting your navel up to your heart. Good. Turn the triceps onto the back, feeling. They're not really going to do that. And reach past your fingers. Keep going. Good. Now keep all that length and put your hands next to your side bottom ribs. Hold there, stretch those toes. Good. Then set the feet down and roll up halfway up into Cobra. And then lower the chest back down. Great job. Stretch back to child's pose. All right, in child's pose, just let all those muscles that we worked in the back start to release. And then come into seated position. Sit with your legs stretched straight out in front of you. Dandasana. So Dandasana, this is the foundation for all of our seated poses. Just like mountain is the foundation for all the standings. I kept referring to mountain pose, try to find like a mountain pose quality. We're gonna look for this Dandasana-like quality in all of our seated poses. So we'll practice it today. What's going on in Dandasana? I'm glad you asked. Have the feet upright like they're up against the wall. So the feet instinctively, like the inner feet will want to sickle, they'll want to turn back. So stretch will reach your inner feet forward, pull the outer feet back, let the thigh bones descend, and then back like it's right up against the wall. Sacrum is upright. And you might need to have a bend in your knees to do this. So if your hamstrings or your back body are less flexible and your lower back is rounding back, then I would prefer that you bend your knees to bring the spine in and up. So just feel what you need to do. Okay. Then lie down onto your back. And we're gonna do Supta Padangusthasana 1. So you're gonna take your right leg up in your strap or your towel or whatever you have at home. Everyone has a towel. Okay, stretch that right leg straight up. Some people don't have walls in their house. We learned in last year's challenge. Take the hands all the way up, TP dwellers, all the way up and have the hands one side of the strap in each hand. Okay, so let's start with this right knee bent just a little bit. And when the knee bends, I want you to feel that both hips release out of your back. Same principle. Feel that the side ribs can breathe their space away from the hips. And this leg is an expression, the left leg is an expression of the length of the hips out of the back. Let the shoulders relax. And then see if you can start to breathe this right leg towards straight. Depending on your flexibility, it doesn't have to go all the way straight. Remember, we're teaching the body health. We're not trying to jam ourselves into any shapes. Then rebend your knee and change legs. Take your left leg up. So we'll start with that knee bent. Pause there. Reach through your right heel and descend your right thigh. Let the hips release out of your back, and then slowly start to stretch that left leg towards straight without that left hip creeping back up into your lower back. Good, then bend your knee again and release. Set up for bridge pose. Bring your heels close to your buttock, feet hip distance apart. Thank you. Then lift your hips up. And with your hands at your side, roll up onto the tops of your shoulders. Turn up onto those top shoulders, open up across your chest. Press down through your feet evenly, all four corners of your feet. Feel the backs of the legs turn on. Then lower your hips back down, and we're going to do a supine twist to finish off. My favorite twist. Open your right elbow out to the side like a cactus arm. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. Then let your legs fall over to the left. So as the legs fall over, it's as if you're letting the right shoulder drop back down towards the floor and breathing more space from the right side chest through the right side hip. Then bring your legs back to center and change sides. Open the left arm out to the side, cactus style, and slowly let the legs fall over to the right. Imagine like you had a weight on your left shoulder at the same time, and breathe space between your left hip and your left shoulder. Then come back to center and stretch your legs out for corpse pose. Turn your palms up at your side. Let your feet fall open. Start to feel the muscles in the body relax and soften. From head to toe, let the body drop into the mat. And practice feeling the sensation of the breath without trying to control your breath. Watch the length and the quality of the in-breath and the out-breath. Then gently bend your knees. And roll over to your right side. All right, sit up straight and tall. Bring your palms together and close your eyes. With your eyes closed, just notice the transformation at the end of your practice. So notice how your body feels. Notice the quality of the breath. And also observe your current mental state. Just feel how good you feel at the end of the practice, why you're doing this challenge. Then gently lower your head towards your heart. Lift your head and open your eyes. All right, so thank you so much for practicing with me today. I'm really stoked that you're taking this challenge with me. I want to remind you to hit the like button on the video, leave a comment below, let me know how the challenge is going for you today, what you thought of the video, comments, questions, concerns, things you want to know about the challenge. Also keep in mind that the challenge, none of the videos will be longer than 30 minutes. So as long as you carve out that block in your day for practice throughout this challenge, you'll be fine. I want to remind you too to go to my website. I put the link right below, yogawithtim.com, and make sure to sign up for the challenge. So when we have accountability, when we have reminders, each day I'm going to send you a little email about the challenge, what's going on, little tidbits, things that you should know about the videos, and a little bit more information about the philosophy that we're learning in the videos. So you'll have that, and then also I'll send you the invitation to join the private Facebook group. So make sure to do that, because when you feel like you're part of a community, it's a little easier to stick with something. If that's your vibe, if you're like, I'm kind of like a lone wolf type person, then you don't need to do any of that. Okay, cool. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.